So I'm going to, Miles, name a body part, and you tell me what it does. The
Okay.
lungs. What do the lungs do?
Breathe in air,
Hmm.
oxygenate you.
That's right. What about kidney? What does the kidney do?
I think that has to do with something of filtering liquids.
Okay. What about the uvula?
Gesundheit?
Yes. And epiglottis.
Definitely. Gesundheit.
Yeah, both of them are Gesundheits. See,
Oh,
these are fun names, cool
yes.
functions, just sheer amazement. Is there anything that your body doesn't do that you wish it could do?
Well, that's kind of personal. Fly.
Fly, without
X-ray,
question.
X-ray vision.
Hmm. You're just
Um,
describing Superman right now.
lasers. Yep. Lasers out of my hands.
Uh huh.
I'm blending superheroes together.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of things we wish it could do. We spend a lot of time exercising and doing facial scrubs and working on the outside, the appearance of our body. But what about the inside? These are things that function without us even knowing what they do. And so that's what we're going to explore today on Pull My Leg, the mysteries of the human body. Before we get to today's guest, Miles, I have to ask you,
Yeah.
where are you? Things look a little different.
How so, Mark?
Well, the background looks different, but also you look
Oh,
a little more
oh, yeah.
pale than usual, a little
Ooh,
washed out.
yeah, yeah. All right. Well, in full disclosure, I was kicked out of my home office where I like to do my podcasts.
Uh-huh.
My wife is working from home today, and she is tired of my enthusiasm for pull my leg this early in the morning. So I happen to be in an undisclosed location right now. And the pastiness,
Hmm.
I didn't get to go to makeup today,
Yeah.
and I'm hoping to make it back just in time for the catered lunches.
Yeah. Oh, you should be. We've got something special on tap today for sure. Well, why don't we introduce our guest? So on today's show, we welcome the incomparable Jimmy LaFeef. He is from a prestigious sounding and totally real Center
Mhm.
for Bodily Studies, and he is the head-to-toeologist in charge of the PR department. Essentially, he's a body promoter. So by day, Jimmy does public school appearances in Georgia. He dazzles middle school students with assemblies about the human body. And then at night, he immerses himself in his favorite topic, his favorite passion, which is researching every organ, every system, every smell that the body can produce.
Mm,
Yeah. So
yeah.
Jimmy's fascination with anatomy is matched only by his love of swimming, his talent for baking, and his record breaking attendance at New Kids on the Block concerts. How many times do you think he's seen the New Kids in concert?
Um, well, with the record, I'm hoping it's a lot more than just how many times that you and I went, which
Right.
was seven. I thought that
Seven
was the record.
on the dot. That's right. Over
Yeah.
200 times.
Oh
So
my
today,
gosh.
I know, isn't that insane? So today he's here to answer all of your body related questions, whether you want those answers or not. Jimmy, let's talk about you first. What do you like to bake?
Oh, sorry, that's not what you meant by bake. I really like to bake sourdough bread.
Who
It's my
doesn't?
favorite. I have a sourdough starter. Her name is Sally,
Hmm.
and she's a little lumpy.
Yeah.
Little Sally, lumpy Sally. I like it.
Yeah.
Right. Great. So I feel like we've talked enough about your personal life. Let's talk about the human body.
Oh
The
yeah,
the spleen. It's a funny name. What does it even do? And I think isn't it somewhere near the ear?
it is actually by
Yeah.
the ear. So the spleen is it's located sort of just below the ear in the sort of forward part of your cheek. It's
Okay.
where the splurm is produced.
Uh-huh.
And the splurm is connected to the weenus. I'm not sure if you're familiar with the weenus. The weenus is
Yeah.
this right here.
Oh,
It's
and you're
that
pointing to
flap of skin.
around your elbow. Oh, that flap of skin on your
Yeah,
elbow.
you know that flap of skin on your elbow that if you squeeze really hard on it, you don't feel anything. That's called a weenus,
When I
and
squeeze
it's
my weenus, there is no pain.
that's
I
right. There's
noticed
no
that.
pain. Listen,
Huh.
there's nothing wrong about squeezing your weenus. There isn't. And I know that
Right.
there's a lot of people who will tell you that's not really a good idea. It's really not a problem. It doesn't really affect your spleen at all. In fact, it's kind of encouraging to your spleen to continue its function. So, what is the function
Yeah.
of the spleen, right? You
Right.
want to know it. So that's where the splurm, as I said, is produced. The splurm is really important for coagulating your earwax. And so,
Because yeah.
if most people don't know that like a little elbow grease is exactly what is necessary to coagulate. I can't even say the word. It's like
Yeah.
it's not even real.
But what if the
It almost
spleen
sounds like a real world weird.
It is a real word. I promise you that. But you'll have to forgive me.
but what if the spleen, goes on strike or stops working? What organ picks up the slack?
A bunch of scab organs. That's the problem. Is that there are a bunch of scabs. Mostly they're collected on the skin, but sometimes like if you have a hole in your heart, you get a torn apart. You can get a scab in there. It's the scabs that sort of amalgamate to replace the spleen.
That is cool. And that
But
word
it's pretty
amalgamate, I didn't
rare.
even know. Huh?
Yeah, it's pretty rare that an organ goes on strike, though.
Yeah.
Right? Usually they just like sit-ins. It's not really a strike. It's more like I'm going to sit in.
Yeah.
I'm going to sort of, I'm going to be really annoying to you. You might need to then go and talk to your doctor, right? But at the end of the day, you'll get to the doctor's office, and then your organ's going to be like, haha, just kidding. And
And then it reports for duty.
Right. And then you're just out your copay.
Yeah.
And doctor, it sort of sounds like all of the body parts are a part of some sort of union, if you will, like a part of the union of your body. But, to get a little serious here, doctor, what would you say is the most emotional body part in the body, outside of the obvious of your brain or maybe even your heart? But what is the most emotional?
Well, I think it's the lungs. Because, sometimes when you're feeling a lot of emotion, the best thing you could do is just shove it out, like with a big exhale. So that's kind of what lungs do. They're shoving stuff out. But, it's not what they'll tell you in textbooks. They tell you in textbooks that there's something about air exchange in your lungs. It's not air. It's not gas, right? It is liquid. I mean, you are literally spewing out emotion in liquid form, and that comes from your lungs. So people who
I
are
feel like
coughing
I'm
a lot,
drowning already.
Yeah.
you are often drowning in your own emotions, right? If you aren't careful, it's actually dry drowning, which is ironic given that it is in fact a liquid, but it's called dry drowning, and that's what happens when you just get overwhelmed with emotion, and it's really. Yeah, it's
Doctor, I would have
dangerous.
said the explosion of air. I would have thought that was more your derriere. And
yeah.
I guess one could argue, and maybe I will argue, that may be the most emotional part of your body.
Yeah, so I understand where you're coming from, Miles. That's actually a common error. The common error is that I wasn't talking about explosion of air. I was talking about expulsion of air. Expulsion happens in the lungs.
Yeah.
Explosion of air. Well, absolutely, you're correct. That does happen in the derriere, right?
Yeah.
Post exit.
Yeah, I
Speaking
totally
of
get that.
exit, guys, today's episode of Pull My Leg is proudly brought to you by the Indiana Bureau of Midwestern Excitement Bureau. Whether you're into roundabouts, corn festivals, or arguing about today's best blizzard flavor, Indiana's got it all at a reasonable speed limit. Come for the basketball. Stay because you missed your exit. Stay for as long as you want. Stay because you like saying pop when the rest of the civilized world says soda. Stay because you think beige is the most underrated color of all time and deserves its place in the rainbow. Stay because you feel flat is far better than mountains or oceans. Stay because you are fascinated by the fact that a glacier from the Ice Age flattened everything in this wonderful state but left all our neighboring states beautifully untouched and hilly. So visit Indiana, brought to you by the Indiana Bureau of Midwestern Excitement Bureau, making beige feel bold since 1816. And Mark, you probably know some of our finer mottos. Indiana, it's basically fine. Indiana, there's definitely land here. And Indiana, you'll pass through here eventually. Back to the show, guys.
I like that the state of Indiana works with a lot of different mottos to promote itself. Yeah, some play better in different parts of the country.
Can't commit.
Cannot commit. Mr. LaFeef, you do middle school assemblies.
That's doctor, actually, and I have to correct you.
Mr. Doctor.
It's Mr. Doctor, and it's not LaFeef, it's actually Lay. Both of the F's are silent.
Ooh.
So it's Jimmy Lay.
Both apologize.
Are silent.
Okay. Well, then I'll just stick with Jimmy because I will get confused if that's okay.
Of course, please.
Sure. So you do middle school assemblies. What are middle school students like today? And what were you like as a middle school student?
Most of them. So those are two different questions
Yeah.
because I am not a middle school student
No.
today, although I have often been confused for one, certainly in mentality and certainly in appearance.
Hmm.
Um, Middle schoolers today are really obsessed with 6, 7. I don't even know
So
what that
much so. I
means.
don't either.
I don't even know what it means, but I've asked about 6 or 7 middle schoolers over the last couple of weeks, and yeah, I mean, I'm not sure. Some of them I wasn't sure if they were actually middle school or if they were junior high. It's not clear to me. It's confusing,
Yeah.
and nobody can really tell me what that means. So they're obsessed. They are
Yeah.
obsessed. They're obsessed with that and K-pop Demon Hunter or something along those lines.
Yeah.
I'm not familiar with any of that. I mean, it is Halloween season, so
Hmm.
maybe I should get involved with some of this, engage with some of this material, but I haven't done it at this point.
When
So, but
you were a middle
me,
school student, yeah, what
yeah.
what were you into that confounded adults?
Yeah, so I think it was my jean jacket. I had a jean jacket full of the worst hairband patches you could ever
Uh-huh.
imagine, right? I mean, I had a white lion patch right here, and I had a
Sure.
poison patch here, and of course on the back, Def Leppard Hysteria cover,
So
album
good.
cover,
So good.
right? But the most important patch that I had, and the one that ruled them all, was the one right across the top of my back that said "Kids on the Block."
Yeah, right. Tell me about that.
Oh.
How did you, because the other bands seem kind of different from New Kids on the Block.
Oh, no, 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 no. Not New Kids on the Block. Kids on the Block. I am a big fan of New Kids on the Block, but you may
Oh,
not be aware that
The
they're actually
original.
the reincarnation of a 1960s jam band called the Kids on the Block. They were the
Oh.
house band for most of the electric Kool-Aid acid tests. And that is exactly why
uh-huh.
when the 80s came around, the new Kids on the Block were something that the next generation could get behind because, they saw that their parents were really into it. So I was a big fan of the original
I
Kids on the
didn't know
Block,
that.
but
Interesting.
but they were before my time. So I have
Yeah.
seen more New Kids on the Block concerts than I have Kids on the Block concerts. I
And
never
when
saw them,
Yeah.
and when
before.
you go
Dr.
see
Dr.
NK,
Yeah.
oh, I'm sorry, I just have a follow-up, Miles. When you see NKOTB in concert, is there one
Mm-hmm.
song that always gets you, that always moves you?
No, it's actually anything that Lance Bass sings is just like
Yeah,
that or
he's the
Justin
heart of the
Timberlake. I
band.
love them both. I mean, love them both.
Yeah.
I'm a little more drawn toward Justin Timberlake because we actually share a birthday.
Oh, you
We
do?
share a
Oh.
birthday. Yes, he is not aware of all the famous people he shares a birthday with. Me, Nolan Ryan, as it turns out, right?
Oh, the famous
Jackie
pitcher.
Robinson, all of these people, right?
Right.
Ernie Banks also has. So neither one of us went into the right profession, it seems.
Yeah.
But both of us, I think, have made our mark on the human body in some way or
For
another.
sure.
Sure. Yeah.
For
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think is the least useful body part?
The mouth, it can only get you in
Oh.
trouble, right?
Mhm.
And certainly, I mean, if you were actually eating through your mouth, it would probably be more important. But since people don't eat through their mouth, they eat through their nose.
Yeah.
I think the mouth is pretty expendable.
Yeah. I understand that. And
I would have said, Dr. Lay, the little toe.
Yeah, little toe.
yeah, why do we have five?
So
We really only need four toes, don't we?
Yeah. I mean, yes, we only need 4. We really only need 3 toes. Just look at the dinosaurs.
Mhm.
But we have 5 toes, and unfortunately, one of them is just a little what we call a bulbous nubbin. Here, I can actually show you. Just give me a second.
That's
Yeah.
my nickname in college.
So I know it was.
Bulbous Nobin. Yeah. You
So
know,
Jimmy's
All
going
right.
to, he's got a skeleton behind him. And was that at one time an actual human being?
No, this is actually it's plastic, but
Oh.
it's modeled after Lance Bass actually.
Uh-huh. I see
Because
the
I got
resemblance.
the special, yeah, I got the special edition here.
Yeah.
I mean, I couldn't
Oh.
decide which one I wanted, right?
Yeah.
So anyway, you've got this little toe right here, right? I'm sorry, little toe right here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm backward for you. It's forward for me.
Yeah.
And this little nubbin here is totally.
Oh gosh.
Well, you can see
That looks
it's
like that'd
not
be
very
painful.
useful. Yeah, it's kind of, it looks like it's got some bad arthritis. I think maybe that's what cut their career short.
Too much dancing on stage and, not
And I
enough
believe,
good support.
I believe,
shoes.
Dr.
Right.
Lay, I believe, Dr. Lay, that the nubbin was the toe that went wee wee all the way home.
It is the one that went wee. It's actually wee, not just wee,
yeah.
right? I think it's important because it's such a small toe. To have 3 wees is, I think, more impressive than just 2.
You know, you had mentioned earlier about the spleen and its relation to earwax.
Yeah.
I always thought, and tell me if this is true or not, that earwax is just the brain crying.
Oh, that's absolutely true.
Yeah.
That's
So
absolutely true.
poetic.
Right.
Mm.
It is.
Yeah.
It is poetic. It's basically equivalent to the sort of way that we spew out, or I'm sorry, expunge, right?
Exfoliate. Yeah.
Right. I can't remember. Expunge, I think was the word we used. Our emotions through our lungs. This is how the brain explodes its emotions, and that's in
Sure.
earwax, right? So there's a
Not to
combination,
be
right?
confused with the explosion down below.
That's right, right.
That's right.
Or the expansion also
Mhm.
is a problem sometimes.
So related, which Muppet would you
Hmm.
trust the most to do your taxes?
Well, that's a really good question.
Good question.
Yeah, let me give that some thought. I think it would have to be Zoot. Do you know Zoot, the
Of course.
saxophonist?
Yeah.
Yes.
Zoot.
I think, as a burned out
He was the
musician in
original
his
new
50s,
kid, wasn't he?
that he was. He was in the original kid. He was on the kid. He was in the kids.
Oh, the kids.
And right. And I think it's him because I think he's probably the only one who understands my expenditures better than
Right.
anyone else.
Okay.
Sure.
He would help me put things into context, right? And to find ways to hide it from the government. I mean, to exploit the system.
Mhm. Right.
Zoot. Yeah.
Yeah. And if your hair keeps growing after death, does that mean
Yes.
ghosts need barbers?
Yes, they do. Actually, they do. In fact,
what I
you may
thought.
have heard there's a very famous musical about one. It's called Sweeney Todd, the Demon Barber of Fleet
Mhm.
Street. Right? He wasn't actually cutting the hair of people; he was cutting the hair of dead people. And the reason for that is that sometimes when you are dead and your hair is still growing, you want to look good.
Yeah.
And sometimes you need
Absolutely.
to shave, right? And so
Yeah.
it's amazing to me that he didn't take off. That career didn't take off.
Yeah.
But that's the only one I can think of historically. I'm sure there's some around now, but I'm not dead, so I don't have the manual.
Well, we'll find out soon. I don't know how soon.
Yeah,
So
I'm
what
not
I want
dead
to do
yet.
is
Next
Not
week.
yet.
Next week. Yeah. Next
got
week.
bad news for you.
That's
So
right,
I'm
that's
going to
right.
I'm going to put a minute on the clock, Jimmy. And what I want you to do is I want you to tell us everything you know and what we need to know about how the respiratory system works. So we have 60 seconds. I don't want to overwhelm you with too much
Okay.
time, but I feel like 60 seconds is enough time.
Yeah.
And so, yeah.
And Dr. Lee, is that a
Awesome.
beer in the corner? Right.
Oh, up on the
It is.
shelf.
And
Yeah.
actually, I'm glad you brought that up because this is integral to the way that our respiratory system works. Let me grab this for you.
Okay, sure. And looks like we have 36 seconds
Ooh,
left.
nice.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Dr. Lay,
So
we have
take your time.
36 seconds left. Yes.
this is a beer, right? And of course, the respiratory system is what is involved with the stomach. And the only way to keep the stomach happy is to keep it neutralized. And so we often say, maybe you feel pangs of hunger sometimes. That's your respiratory system saying, hey, feed me. And so if you drink a beer, it turns out you give all the bacteria that it's in your
have 7
respiratory
seconds.
system everything that it needs to sustain itself and then to lead to expulsion of emotions.
Oh,
Wow.
There we go with the explosion
You hit the
again.
post right there. Exactly.
Good.
Jimmy, if you had to replace your kneecaps with a food item, what food would you pick that
Pringles.
can imitate that? Pringles?
Yeah, there's no question. Pringles or
Oh.
cherry Pez, but Pringles probably best.
Yeah.
Because they're shaped the right way, first of all.
Yeah.
But second of all, once you pop, you can't stop, and so why would you need to?
Right.
Right.
Now you are, according to your bio on Wikipedia, that got a lot of the information wrong, but I think this is accurate. I know you're a big swimmer. Isn't swimming basically just arguing with water? Like you're constantly in a fight with water?
That is the most poetic way I've ever heard anyone describe it. I've actually considered that myself. I've been in a long argument with the water for probably 30 years now.
Right.
So I think that's probably the most apt description of what swimming is. The thing that I want you to not sort of dwell on though is that it's an argument and it's physical, but it's not too physical, right? It's an argument like you are arguing with your hands, right? But not like you're beating the water, right? I mean, again, it's just a disagreement. It's not like it's
a passionate conversation, but
right, exactly. It's not a
Dr. Lay, what I always like to say is water is probably the most passive aggressive element that there is.
That's right. Yes.
He
It
says
is.
that to me
It
all
is
the
very
time.
passive. Right. I pass water plenty of times every day.
Right.
Yeah.
Now I am thinking of something that you might find in a drawer. What am I thinking? Now, Miles is very good at predicting what I'm thinking, but I'm thinking of an item that you might find in a drawer. Do you know what that is?
Any drawer or my drawer?
Oh, a typical drawer that you'd find, like in a junk drawer at someone's house.
But when you're not looking for junk, right? You're looking for something else.
I'm not telling. No more clues.
Oh, I see. So you're
Mm.
thinking of something found in a drawer. What is it?
Yeah.
Clearly it's the Hope Diamond.
Hope Diamond.
Oh,
Okay.
that's good. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
not correct. But Miles, do you have any guess?
Severed finger.
Ooh,
No, it
ooh.
was just a rubber band. But you guys really went
Oh.
out there. Which is more complicated, Jimmy, the human body or putting together an IKEA entertainment center?
Oh, an IKEA entertainment center because it comes with instructions that you can't understand,
Right.
right? But the
Those
human body's
pictures.
put together instructions, the DNA, right? It understands it. It's put together pretty well, right? I mean,
Yeah,
most of us are put together pretty well,
I get it. And if
right?
you could have one body organ as a roommate, which would be the worst to live with?
Oh, that's a good question. My eyes, right? My
Yeah.
eyes, any eyes, right? Because then they could see how dirty and filthy that room would be.
Uh,
And that would just like then, as long as they don't have a
Someone.
mouth, it's okay. But
Mhm.
if there's eyes and a mouth, then it's really a problem,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. All of
I was
this
going to
makes
go with
such
feet.
sense.
I was definitely going to go with feet and thought,
Yeah.
Dr. Lay, that's what, by the way,
I'm
Jimmy
sorry.
is
And
the,
not to correct you, Miles. It's
It's
actually not Dr.
it's
Lay. It's
right.
Dr. Laugh. The E's are
oh,
silent.
okay.
The E's are silent.
Okay. Is
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
J in Jimmy silent as well?
It's gimme.
That's
Gimme.
what I thought.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Mhm.
So I have a final question for you, unless Miles has
Yeah.
one brewing in his head. It's a top five question. So, what are the top five foods that should not be
Mm.
eaten in bed?
Anything made by this friend that I have who now lives in Sarasota. That's the top. That's number one.
Okay.
Because like you never know when that's going to creep back up on you. And it's mostly because that person is. I'm not going to name that person because I don't want to shame them for their top
Yeah.
five list. But this is
Sure.
definitely in the spirit of that.
Okay.
Um, I'm sorry. What was the question again?
I don't remember. I think I asked you what foods you shouldn't eat in bed, but it can now be anything. What are five things you should never bring into bed if you're trying to sleep at night? I think I like that
Oh,
question better.
a piranha. A
Piranha,
piranha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
A lightsaber.
Lightsaber, right?
Don't eat the
Um,
lightsaber. Absolutely.
that's right. That's right. That's right. A stethoscope.
Mm.
Stethoscope,
Right. A bottle opener
bottle opener,
and a can of spam.
can of spam. That's a really strong
Oh,
list. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Miles, was there
I
I
anything
thought he
you
mean,
was,
wanted to add to that
I
list?
thought, I thought Gimme was going to go with kombucha.
Mhm.
kombucha is a good
Uh,
one.
Yeah,
yeah,
But
I love the piranha though.
all of the things on my list are just from experience, right? There may be others, but
yeah,
those are the things that in hindsight I regret bringing to bed.
yeah. I've
Okay.
so enjoyed this
Yeah.
conversation. Is there any shout out that you want to give to any of your students or a school that you've visited recently that you had a really great time presenting?
I just want to give a shout out to the Center for Bodily Studies.
Yep.
I think it's an important, and we have a GoFundMe page. So if you could put a link in the chat notes about that, that would be really helpful.
What would you be
Because
raising money for? Just curious.
for the undertaking, I mean, come on, what kind
Yeah,
of question was that?
that
Everyone's raising money for the undertaking.
right. I understand. You're a head to
I was hoping
toeologist.
it
Was
was
that
me.
always what you wanted
Yes.
to study your
I
whole
actually
life?
wanted to be a toe to headologist, but I got things backward,
No.
and so I
Yeah.
ended up doing what I do.
Well, you've made an excellent choice. We love your work.
Thank you.
We can't wait to hear more about you and the ways that you pronounce your last name. And
Mhm.
thank you
Dr.
so
Gimme
much for
laugh.
coming. Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
Thank you for
I
coming on Pull
just
My Leg. Mhm.
want to say thanks again. This has been a wonderful chat. Everything they say about you guys is not true.
So, Mark, you know, my favorite portion of the podcast is where our fans, our
Mhm.
listeners, get to ask us questions. We like to call it the mailbag. And so, why don't you ask the first question, Mark?
I can do that. Okay, so let me go in and see what I pulled for you. All right, this is a question from Hilda Ramirez.
Mm.
She lives in
Hilda.
Stockton, California. She
Hmm.
says, "My coworker eats yogurt with a fork. Should I
Oh,
stop him?" Seems kind of weird. What's your answer to
Hilda,
that one, Miles?
Hilda, everybody has an opportunity and deserves to be able to express themselves in any way, any manner that they want. Yes, I agree. Yogurt with a fork, soup with a fork, those don't make sense, but we don't know this individual, and this individual may be trying to express themselves in any way they know how. And fork with yogurt, though weird to you, though
Hmm.
weird to us, should be encouraged. Don't discourage this
That's right.
individual.
And I don't know how weird that is. I feel like yogurt is the type of food you could eat with any utensil.
Right. Straws I've seen.
Yeah.
Spoons, obviously the go-to. Knives, sometimes in a pinch.
Hmm.
Forks, not so much, but who are we to say?
Uh-huh.
But the next question comes from, oh, this may be a first, Mark. This
Yes.
is from Hilda's brother, Hidalgo Ramirez from Stockton, California. And this one is for you, my little buddy.
Okay.
Dear Mark, we know you've been a slave to fashion ever since Madonna came out with Material Girl.
Mm.
So who better to ask this question? When when can I wear my parachute pants again? Is it too late or is it too soon? Oh yeah, and how long can you hold your breath underwater, Mark?
Well,
Call back from a
I
previous
think we answered
podcast.
that question on a recent
Oh,
podcast. The answer,
share
of
with the
course,
fans.
7 seconds. That's how long I can hold my breath underwater. That's if I fill up
That's
all of my lungs.
that's sad.
Yeah, it is sad. Parachute pants. So yeah, so Madonna, the early 80s.
Yeah.
I remember I bought my first pair at the Chess King, maybe the merry-go-round. I can't remember which store. I wore them
Yeah.
all the time. I'm not sure I ever washed them, and that was a fabric you didn't have to wash. It was
No,
also
they discouraged it. In fact, I think what they said was, "Don't wash them. Just
right,
throw them in the freezer for a couple
right,
hours. They'll be fine on the way out.
right.
Stiff. Just and the crease will be perfect."
Right. Right. And I bought a variety of different pants. I know we want to talk about parachute pants. I had the type of pants that zippered up from the
Mm.
ankle to the knee and then from the knee to the hip. And it exposed a completely different color. They were gray pants with this magical purple underneath.
But
But
before you get into your answer, did you also have the John Wayne? It was the shirt that had the zipper all the way like this, and you could unzip part of it and lay the flap over.
was it called the John Wayne?
Yeah, I never had one, but I admired the kids that did.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
It's a
it was
bold statement.
too
But you
too
can
cool
only
for
wear
me.
that shirt once or twice, right? Because people are going to remember that.
No, no, you
No?
could wear it often because you could change the look
Oh,
by the
yeah.
zipper.
Mm,
Sometimes you want to go full flap, half flap, three-quarter flap, no flap.
right. I would have been a no flap guy.
Flap that, Mark.
So as far as the parachute pants go, for our friend who asked that question, it's never too late and it's never too soon to break out the parachute pants. I
Mm.
still own mine, as a matter of fact. Can't quite get them over my waist, but I can put my feet in through the leg holes. And occasionally I like to model them around the house and reminisce about my days doing the robot on the dance floor. So thank you. That's an amazing
Go,
question.
go
Parachute
for it.
pants haven't gone out of style and they never will. So it's time for the truth bomb. This is usually a segment that carries a little bit more weight because our topics are usually a little more ridiculous. But really, when it comes to the human body, there are a million truths that we could share about it. It's miraculous. And all the different cells and organs and bells and whistles that work together to make us who we are. So I don't really have any truth bomb to share. I mean, I know there are facts that I've learned along the way. I like the fact that your skin is the largest body organ that you have. It's like 8 pounds. You have 8 pounds of flesh on you. That if you were to take all of the blood vessels, you have 60,000 miles of blood vessels in your body. It can stretch around the earth more than twice. But here's my favorite fun fact about the human body. Miles, did you know your tongue print is unique, just like a fingerprint? So technically, you could be identified by licking things.
Really?
Yeah. So please stop doing that. You thought you were getting away with it. But
Truth bomb.
that's another show, Miles. Another one for the record books. And I learned nothing. No.
You know what? This may have been my favorite one, although after doing 200 shows, I mean,
Yeah.
who can decide
It's hard to
anymore?
track. Yeah. But
Mm,
any show that's dedicated to learning more about the human body, I'm all up for it. Like next
mm.
week. What should our show be next week if it's related to the human body?
Oh, right. Well, it is about cartoon characters and why they look and feel so much like real people. We're going to get down to the bottom of this.
I like it. Okay. Well, thank you everyone for listening, for watching. If you haven't checked us out on YouTube, please do so. Please subscribe for all of that bonus content that doesn't exist. And if you want to visit our website, it's pullmylegpodcast.com, where you can always listen to the latest episodes. And the final thing I want to leave you with, Miles, is this. The best way to predict the future is to pretend that you already know it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That's a good one.
Ponder on that.